Hi, it's Ted Lee with Neighborhood Realty Solutions. And in this video, I'm going to go over the non-agency independent contractor brokerage agreement. This is the agreement that can replace the standard residential listing agreement. But I do want to make a point. I have talked about this agreement in other training videos, but you can use the residential um, listing agreement. We do have an amendment to that that we use that will basically solve everything we need to do. We like to use this one. This one's set up in Virginia because it references the Virginia Code for duties and obligations of brokers and licensees. So if you're going to use it someday in the future in your state outside of Virginia, we're probably going to want to get it modified in those sections to reference your code. Okay. So at the top of this agreement, we have the name of the seller, the name of the broker, the street address, the legal description. Then we have a brief paragraph here that just states that this is a non-agency brokerage agreement. And what that really means is that the broker and the realtor are performing the duties that are specified only in this agreement and not the duties or obligations that might otherwise be specified in that portion of the code that speaks to the duties of agents and brokers. And in Virginia, that section of the code is 54.1-2131 through 2135. So it just says you're not held to the duties of those obligations. You're only held to the duties that are in this agreement or any amendment that's in writing to this agreement that might occur. So that's it. This portion in the Virginia Code, it's 2130 that talks about the provisions of an independent contractor. And so there'll be in your state potentially some other part of the code that we can insert in here. And again, it just says, we just define here that in Virginia, it says nothing in this article, in that part of the code, shall prohibit a licensee, that's the broker and the realtor, and a client from agreeing in writing to a brokerage relationship under which the licensee acts as an independent contractor. And a real estate licensee who enters into a brokerage relationship based upon a written brokerage agreement that specifically states that the real estate licensee is acting as an independent contractor and not as an agent shall have the obligations agreed to by the parties in this agreement alone. That's all it's really saying. All right. Now, we come down here and we have an acknowledgement. Simply, the seller acknowledges that the sale of the property is a short sale. There's a separate document called an authorization to release signed between Neighborhood Realty Solutions and the seller. So we're acknowledging here that the seller has provided consent for Neighborhood Realty Solutions and its associates and assistants and so on to obtain information from the seller, compile it as part of a complete short sale package, upload it to the seller's lien holders, and negotiate to secure a short sale approval. So this is being acknowledged in this document. The seller acknowledges and agrees that the broker, acting as an independent contractor, and the representatives, employees, and managers of Neighborhood Realty Solutions are not providing the services or acting in the capacity of legal or tax counsel. Okay. Now, the term of the agreement, it can be for a year, it could be for 6 months, but just make it a long period of time so we cover any contingency that we might need to get the short sale complete. We're typically going to complete a short sale in about 90 days, but there's no reason to keep extending this, so just put a long period of time in here. The broker compensation is always 6%. That's split between your broker and for basically listing the property, and the broker realtor that brings a buyer. And both of those parties are listed on the final HUD statement, showing 3% and 3%. Then all we have here is that we're going to protect the confidentiality of the seller's financial information. Here's a section here that says the seller's provided permission for financial information to be disclosed to all the lien holders as may be needed to gain approvals for a short sale. There's a brief section here about the IRS code. None of this you have to spend much time on with the homeowner. You're just going to go, they're just going to fill in the top, they're going to sign. This is just to cover you that it says here that the broker, realtor, are not acting as a mortgage assistance relief service provider. And then we have a section here about the services in this document. And again, this is where they're limited. It says here that you're going to provide a copy of this particular agreement to Neighborhood Realty Solutions because it becomes a part of the complete short sale package. You're going to agree, obviously, to cooperate with Neighborhood Realty Solutions on a timely basis, and you're not going to communicate, and the broker's not going to communicate with any lien holders, except if we ask you to in writing. So basically, all communication with the lenders is done by Neighborhood Realty Solutions. And that was the whole point of this, that you're not involved in that step and frees you up. The broker acknowledges that the broker's duty is to the seller and not to the lenders. And that's important. Some of the lenders kind of forget that point. And it says here, number 3, broker shall list the property as a short sale in the MLS. All right, and we talk more about that in other training videos, but that's how it gets started, of course. The broker shall provide Neighborhood Realty Solutions with a completed short sale questionnaire. Obviously, we've talked about that questionnaire in another training video. The broker down here could use a lockbox, and broker shall account in a timely manner for all the money collected, or it's just basic stuff at the bottom. No big deal. Now we have miscellaneous provisions. Seller is not a party to any other agreement with another broker. So this is exclusive. And this is pretty standard stuff here. We come down here. We have a description of the property, what's in the property, anything that you would have been familiar to see. Utilities, just check the boxes. All this is pretty standard. But then we come down to a paragraph here about hold harmless. All right, so this particular document affords additional protections to the broker and the realtor for anything that might, let's say, where there's some event or repercussion or a consequence or an incident or an act of a third party or a creditor or a claim or a disagreement. Anything might happen relative to trying to secure a short sale, we're being held harmless. So you're not responsible if it doesn't work out right. And that's an important paragraph. We're going to use our best efforts to be successful. There's no guarantee a short sale will actually occur. But that's pretty important. Then it just gets the seller, signs, dates it. Broker's going to sign it. You're going to sign it, date it, and we just have the contact information at the bottom. That's it. Then this document, as I said, you're going to send a copy over to us, and we include it in the short sale package. All right, that's it. Talk to you in another video.